Saudi Arabia is doing something no one thought possible. They are building a $7 billion railway straight through the desert to link the Red Sea to the Arabian Gulf for the very first time. It has been named the Landbridge Railway, and it is going to be 1,500 kilometers of track, crossing scorching dunes to slash travel time from Jeddah to Riyadh, from 12 hours to under 4. This railway will move millions of tons of cargo faster than ever, and maybe even rival the Suez Canal. Stick around to discover the engineering challenges, the advanced trains, and the massive economic impact behind the Landbridge Railway. Before we ride the rails of the Saudi Landbridge, make sure to track down that subscribe button for the latest on mega projects and engineering marvels around the world. For decades, Saudi Arabia faced a transportation crisis. The country has two powerful coasts, too far from each other. One on the Red Sea, where ships from Europe dock. The other is on the Arabian Gulf, where trade flows toward Asia. Between them, there is more than 1,000 kilometers of harsh desert with no fast way to connect the two. Everything that moved across the country had to go by truck or ship. This wasted days, burns too much fuel, and crowded highways. Cargo from Jeddah to Dammam could take nearly a week, and domestic travel between the cities was just as slow. That bottleneck was costing billions every year and holding back growth. So, when the government began drawing up Vision 2030, fixing this gap became a top priority. This is how the country decided to build the Saudi Landbridge Railway. This plan has been on and off the table since 2004. Back then, it was considered too expensive and too complicated to pull off. Financing fell through, and for years no one did anything about it, but then the kingdom's modernization push kicked in, and the land bridge finally came roaring back. This time, it had funding, foreign partnerships, and political backing. Construction started with the goal to finally connect Jeddah on the Red Sea to Dammam on the Arabian Gulf through Riyadh, creating Saudi Arabia's first true east-west rail corridor. The total route covers about 1,500 kilometers, including a 900-kilometer stretch between Riyadh and Jeddah, and new connections from Dammam to Jubail, Yanbu, and King Abdullah Port. It is going to be a massive railway. When finished, the land bridge will link 7 logistics hubs, industrial cities, and major ports in one network. That means factories in Yanbu can ship goods directly to the East Coast. Imports arriving in Jeddah can be in Riyadh within hours instead of days. For the first time, Saudi Arabia will have a single transport spine joining its two coastlines. Economically, this project is going to benefit the country in many ways. Officials estimate it will save $4.2 billion every year in transport costs and create around 200,000 jobs across construction, logistics, and manufacturing. And the ripple effect doesn't stop there. The land bridge could completely reorder global shipping routes. Right now, almost all trade between Europe and Asia relies on the Suez Canal. It is a single corridor that can get backed up or blocked for days. The new Saudi route gives companies a faster option. They can offload goods in Jeddah, ship them by train across the kingdom, and reload them in Dammam for the final leg to Asia. That trip could take under 18 hours instead of weeks by sea. If that works, the land bridge might become the world's first practical land alternative to the Suez Canal. Of course, it's not easy. This line cuts across some of the most extreme conditions on Earth. Engineers are dealing with temperatures above 50 degrees Celsius, sand that shifts like water, and dust storms that can shut down equipment in minutes. Every kilometre of rail has to be built to survive decades of heat and corrosion. To keep the tracks clear, crews are installing sand barriers and using heat-resistant steel. Bridges and tunnels are being reinforced to handle flash floods during rare desert storms. Even the signalling and electrical systems are sealed against dust to avoid short circuits. The terrain also means logistics are a nightmare. Many sections of the line run through total isolation. There are no roads, no power lines, and no water. Construction teams live in temporary desert camps, hauling in everything from concrete to drinking water. It's slow, difficult work, but the payoff will be worth it. When it's done, Saudi Arabia's rail network will grow from 5,300 kilometers to more than 8,000, making it one of the biggest in the region. It will handle both freight and passengers, cutting the travel time from Jeddah to Riyadh from 12 hours by road to under 4 by train. That alone could transform domestic travel. But what really makes this special is how it connects to the bigger picture. The land bridge links directly to the GCC railway network. It is a regional project that will eventually connect all 6 Gulf countries by rail. Once that happens, you will have a continuous transport route running from the Red Sea straight into Oman, Kuwait, and beyond. Now it is one thing to dream of connecting entire countries by rail, but turning that dream into steel, concrete, and power is actually the hard part. Luckily, this is a global collaboration, which is why the project is moving forward without many problems. The railway is being led by Saudi Arabia Railways and built by the Saudi-China Landbridge Consortium, which includes China Civil Engineering Construction Company and Al-Ayuni Contracting. Together they are handling one of the most complex rail builds ever attempted in the region. International expertise is everywhere. Engineering companies like Hill International from the US, Italfer from Italy, and Sener from Spain are all managing different parts of the project. Design and signalling work comes from firms like WSP, Thales, and Sistra. They are ensuring that the network meets international standards. It's truly global, but the coordination is happening right in Riyadh. The project's history is long. It was first announced in 2004, paused in 2010, revived in 2011, and finally restarted after Xi Jinping's visit in 2022. That moment sealed a new era of Saudi-China cooperation. After this project, Chinese investment in the kingdom increased to $8.2 billion in 2024. The construction finally started with the Riyadh Rail Link. It's a 35-kilometer connector that merges the North-South Railway with the Eastern network. It might sound small, but it's a critical piece because it's the line that will make all future routes work together perfectly. Now let's talk about the trains. The land bridge will be powered by some of the most advanced locomotives on the planet. Swiss manufacturer Stadler Busnang AG is building them, while Rolls-Royce is supplying the engines, specifically the MTU Series 4000 models. Each train carries 4 1,500 kilowatt engines, giving it enough strength to power through harsh conditions while maintaining speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. These engines meet the strict EU Stage 5 emissions standards. This means they are cleaner and more efficient than most trains in operation today. They are also built to survive intense desert heat, dust storms, and sudden temperature shifts. Inside, everything from the cooling system to the air filters has been redesigned for desert survival. But that's not all. Saudi Arabia is going big on sustainability. The land bridge will eventually include hydrogen-powered trains. This is a major step towards zero-emission travel, and while most of the focus is on freight, Saudi Arabia is also investing in luxury rail. By the end of 2025, the Dream of the Desert will launch, which is going to be a 1,290-kilometer luxury train from Riyadh to Al Qurayat. This will give this country a new tourism identity. The success of these new technologies is already visible. In 2025, more than 2.6 million passengers used intercity trains in Saudi Arabia. It is a record number that shows how quickly the country is embracing rail. The land bridge will build on that momentum and cut freight travel between Jeddah and Dammam from days to just a few hours, and that's exactly where this project fits into the bigger picture. So, we've tracked how the Saudi Landbridge Railway is pushing engineering to its limits, cutting transport time from days to hours, and positioning Saudi Arabia as a potential global trade powerhouse. My personal take is that Saudi Arabia clearly has the resources and vision to tackle massive, ambitious construction projects, but despite all that, will the Landbridge Railway really rival the Suez Canal? That's the big question. Now we hand the controls over to you. Do you think the sheer challenge of the desert and the cost of this $7 billion railway are worth the risk? Or will it revolutionize global shipping as planned? And before you go, subscribe to Design Zip for more videos exploring the world's most impressive architectural design and construction projects. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.